All right, new problem, and let's go ahead and handle it like we do every other problem. Let's read that question first. Question sentence. So it says, if this much of the garden is planted with tomatoes, how many acres are planted with tomatoes? Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So when we see here, the way that the question worded itself, it says right over here, let me highlight this. 2/5 of the garden is planted with tomatoes. How many acres is that? So here it says again, I'm going to write this very carefully, very carefully. 2/5 of the garden. Everybody, quick question. How many acres is the garden? How many acres is the garden? We see that the garden is actually given to us right there, and it says a garden is 3/4 of an acre in size. It's 3/4 of an acre in size. Okay, let me highlight that right there. So everybody, I'm going to replace the garden right here. I'm going to replace it with 3/4. So we have 2/5 of 3/4 of an acre. My party people, one little question, one tiny little question. What does the word of, not out of, what does the word of mean in mathematics? Multiplication. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this becomes 2/5. Let me just, separate it. This becomes 2/5 multiplied by 3/4. That's what this turns into. This is a multiplication problem. This does not say, like, hey, if 2/5 of the garden is planted with tomatoes, it doesn't say 2/5 acres is planted with tomatoes. It says 2/5 of the garden. Of the garden. So you are doing 2/5 of whatever this is, which is going to be multiplication. Had they said, and I'm speaking to those who might feel a little confused right now, had the problem said, hey, 2/5 of an acre is planted with tomatoes, then that would be super straightforward. That would be 3/4 minus 2/5, and we would be done. Or the answer would just be 2/5. Because if it quite literally said 2/5 of an acre is planted with tomatoes, well, that's how many acres are planted with tomatoes. That would quite literally be the answer if this was the amount of tomatoes. So that's why it's not going to be addition or subtraction. It's not. This is going to be multiplication strictly because we are saying 2/5 of the garden, and the garden is this size. So it's like saying, hey, if I had 2 of these $10 bills, that's $10 bills times 2. If I said I had 3 of the cartons of milk, I would take however many eggs are in a carton, multiply it by 3. So in this case, everybody, again, this is going to be multiplication. I really need to support that claim before I get started here. And here's how we multiply. To remind you and refresh on the rules for multiplying fractions, remember that we multiply straight forward, just like this. I'll show you another way to do this, but the straightforward way is multiplying straight up. Everybody help me. 2 times 3 is going to give me what? 2 multiplied by 3, that's going to give us 6. And then up next, we have 5 multiplied by 4. Everybody, what is 5 multiplied by 4? Yep, that'll be 20. And then the last thing that we can do here is we can simplify. We can go ahead and simplify nice and easy because we can then divide 2 out of both of these values. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. And there we are. The correct answer is answer choice B. But I want to show you one more way to do this before we move on. So I want to show you the technique of simplifying before you actually multiply. Let me show you here. So let me show you the same arithmetic. We have 2/5 multiplied by 3/4. And everybody, what was that thing that we just did at the end here? Can you say that again? What did we do at the end? Yeah, at the end, we ended up simplifying. Exactly. At the end, we ended up simplifying. Let me show you a neat little trick here when it comes to multiplication with fractions. You can actually simplify before you multiply and still get the same correct answer. Let me actually show you this real quick. So everybody, when we take a look, we see that we have 2 right there and 4 over here. If we have a 2 on the top and a 4 on the bottom, everybody, that means that we can divide the 2 out. And watch me do that. I'm going to divide by 2 up there and down here. Everybody tell me, what's 2 divided by 2? 2 divided by 2, yeah, that's 1. That's actually pretty easy. That's nice. And then over here, what's 4 divided by 2, everybody? 4 divided by 2 ends up giving us 2. I'm going to write everything else where it was. The 5 right here. The 3 right there. Help me out. 1 times 3, that's going to be what? Oh, yeah, that's going to be 3. And then 5 times 2, that's going to be what? Oh, yeah, that's going to be 10. And boom. If we simplify before we multiply the fractions, we can get the same answer with a little less stress because we're not dealing with simplifying big numbers because we've already taken care of the simplification there. So with that said, everybody, there it is. The correct answer is answer choice B. And I hope you enjoyed this solution because it goes over a couple of the different ways that we can get this one done. All right, next question. So we're going to start with the question sentence. I know I say it all the time, but it's for your benefit. So here it says, how far is 9 laps around the court? So when we're asking ourselves, hey, how far is 9 laps around a rectangular court? I'm asking myself, well, if I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if I want to do that 9 times, well, I really just want to hear myself say that again. 9 times. I'm going to find 1 lap, which is the same as perimeter, and I'm going to multiply that by 9. That's what 9 laps would be. So now we're going to just move forward, calculate the perimeter, multiply it by 9, and we're done. Here we go. Perimeter equals double the length plus double the width. When we plug everything in, we have double 36 and then double 18. Once we continue, we have 72 plus 36, and that's going to end up giving us 108 feet. Don't get distracted because that's not the answer. That is not the answer because 1 lap, we have that, but now we need 9 laps, which would be multiplying by 9. So I'm going to do a nice little magic trick and make that smaller and go away. And then we're going to take that 108 and we'll multiply by 9. A nice little mental math trick. 100 times 9 is 900. 8 times 9 is 72. So 972, there it is. Answer choice B. And we are all done.